Welcome to Shay It Out Loud, the podcast where real conversations meet heart, humor, and honesty. I'm Shay, your host, bringing stories, insights, and a little laughter as we navigate life, growth, and everything in between. Whether it's mental health, parenting, or finding balance in the chaos, we'll dive in together. So grab your coffee, tea, or whatever keeps you going. Let's Shay It Out Loud. Hey guys, it's Shay, and today we're diving into a topic that's been popping up everywhere lately: toxic positivity. You know those moments when someone tells you just stay positive when your life is really falling apart? Yeah, we're going to unpack that. But don't worry, we'll also talk about healthy optimism and how to find a balance between the two. So to kick things off, let me set the scene. Imagine you're sharing that you had a tough day at work with a friend, and they respond, "At least you have a job," or "It could be worse." Does that sound familiar? It's well intended, but it also doesn't land the way that they think. Today, we'll break down what toxic positivity really is, why it's harmful, and how we can shift towards a healthier, more balanced way of thinking. Plus, I'll share some tips so you can use in your daily life to encourage healthy perspectives for yourself and others. But here's the thing. Sometimes it's okay for things not to feel fine. Sit with that, y'all. Just sit with it. It isn't about giving up hope. It's about giving yourself a space to process the tough stuff. Let's get into it. First up, let's define toxic positivity, because we know someone who loves to be toxic, and it may just be you. But it's a belief that no matter how tough a situation is, that you will only focus on the positive. That sounds pretty harmless, but here's the thing. It actually dismisses real emotions. For example, have you ever heard someone say good vibes only? Or don't think about it, just stay positive? When you're clearly struggling, it's like putting a Band-Aid on a deep wound. Yeah, it's a quick fix, but it doesn't heal anything. Let's talk about why this is harmful. When we're told to ignore our pain, it sends a message that negative emotions aren't valid. This can lead to feelings of guilt, isolation, or even shame for simply feeling human. Toxic positivity creates a wall between us and a genuine connection. It's like saying, your struggle makes me uncomfortable, so just cover it up. Sounds familiar? If so, you're not alone. We all been on the giving or receiving end of toxic positivity. But the good news is we can do better. Now, I want to share an example from history that really illustrates this. During challenging times like the Civil Rights Movement, people often heard platitudes like, "At least we made some progress." While true in some ways, those kind of statements overlook how deep the pain and ongoing struggle faced by those fighting for justice. It's a reminder that dismissing pain doesn't move us forward. Acknowledging it does. So what's the alternative? Enter healthy optimism. It's about acknowledging challenges while maintaining hope for improvement. Think about it as a middle ground between denial and despair. Here's a quick example. Imagine your friends say they're overwhelmed at work. Instead of saying it'll all work out or just be grateful that you have a job, you could say, "That sounds really stressful. How can I support you?" See the difference? One minimizes their feelings while the other validates and opens up the door for communication. Healthy optimism doesn't ignore struggles. It leans into them with resilience and hope. It's saying, "This is hard, but I can handle it." Or, "Things are tough right now, but they won't last forever." Let me share a story that perfectly captures healthy optimism. A friend of mine recently lost her job, but instead of spiraling into hopelessness, she took a moment to grieve, then said, "This sucks, but this also gives me an opportunity to explore something new." She started a business that she's been dreaming of for years, and while it's been challenging, she is thriving. That's healthy optimism in action. It's about embracing the reality of the situation while being open to possibilities. Let's talk about why toxic positivity is so common. First, there's discomfort. Negative emotions make people uneasy, so they try to fix them quickly. Add societal pressure to be happy and a sprinkle of social media highlight reels, and voila, toxic positivity thrives. But here's the thing, emotions aren't problems to be solved. They're signals that help us understand ourselves. Suppressing them doesn't make them go away, it just delays the healing process. Instead of rushing to positivity, let's learn to sit with discomfort. It's okay to feel sad, frustrated, or even angry. Those emotions are a part of being a human, and acknowledging them is the first step to processing them. And let's not forget social media's role in all of this. We scroll through perfectly curated feeds, and it's easy to feel like we need to match that energy. But here's the truth. Behind every smiling photo is a real person with real struggles. Let's normalize showing up as we are, even if that means being a little messy. And of course, this wouldn't be Shay It Out Loud if I wasn't a little transparent. Let me share a personal story that really brought this topic home for me. As you all may know, recently my daughter has been dealing with some eye issues. We had some hard news from the doctors, and while the outcome is not what we hoped for, it's our reality. Her normal is going to look a little different moving forward. When I shared this with others, almost everyone responded the same way. It's going to be fine. And I know they mean well, and they want to be encouraging, but here's the thing. Sometimes it's okay for things not to feel fine. Sit with that, y'all. This isn't about giving up hope. It's about giving ourselves space to process the tough stuff. I've learned to say, this is hard, but we're going to figure it out. It's a way to balance acknowledging the challenge while still holding on to hope. And honestly, that feels a lot more supportive than simply pretending that everything is okay when it isn't. This experience has taught me the importance of sitting with emotions and finding ways to move forward. Not by ignoring the hard stuff, but by embracing it. So how do we shift from toxic positivity to healthy optimism? Let's start with a few practical tips. Number 1, for yourself. Allow yourself to feel without judgment. Journaling can help process emotions. Write down what you're feeling and why. No filter needed. Use affirmations to validate your experience. Like, it's okay to feel this way. I'm doing my best. Number 2, for others. Practice active listening. Instead of jumping to a solution, just say, I'm here for you, or that sounds really tough. Avoid phrases starting with at least or just. Those often minimize feelings. Number 3, on social media. Curate your feed. Follow accounts that balance positivity with authenticity. It's refreshing to see creators share their wins and struggles. And also share your own honest experiences. It's a great way to normalize real emotions. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with this. Healthy optimism is a balance. It's okay to feel all the feels, the highs, and the lows. Life is not always good vibes only, and that's perfectly fine. And before we go, I have a challenge for you. This week, when you're supporting someone or processing your own emotions, pause and ask yourself, am I being realistic and empathetic? Small shifts like this can make a huge difference. Thanks for tuning in to Shay It Out Loud. I hope today's episode gave you something to think about, smile over, or share with a friend. Don't forget to follow me on IG and TikTok at Shay It Out Loud for updates. And catch new episodes every Tuesday at 6 p.m. on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Until next time, take care, be kind, and don't be afraid to Shay It Out Loud.